Hello, it's Gray.
Hello, it's Crystal.
And this is Bussy Asian Beauties, a supernatural commentary podcast where I, someone who's seen this show several times.
And I, someone who only knows the show through social media, discuss every single episode of Supernatural from start to finish. Also, we are both Asian.
Both Asian. For today's episode, we will be discussing Season 6, Episode 13, with the corny title, Unforgiven, written by Andrew Dabb and Daniel Laughlin. Boo! Or, Boo. I don't know, it's fine. Directed by David Barrett.
Who is only a director on Unforgiven and has never done anything else.
Well, I'm sure he has done other things in his life.
But yes, true. Woke up, breathed. Let's find this individual. David Barrett. Yeah. IMDb. Oh, whole Wikipedia page for this individual.
That's pretty fun.
I don't really know. I don't recognize anything on here though. Also, you know, sometimes be a different David Barrett. Yeah.
Sometimes people just have, like, a Wikipedia that and it's made. Not for anything. Yeah. Like, you don't have to be too impressed. He directed one episode of Supernatural into Wikipedia, so this is him. I'm sorry for saying that you shouldn't be impressed with this guy. Like, he seems an accomplished director and other things, so good for him.
Yeah, he did 3 episodes of Once Upon a Time, which I know matters to the femme/community.
Love it. Watch that TV show around the same time I watched House MD, I think, for the first time. Mm. And I knew immediately that they were lesbians. Like, good for them.
Good for them.
Well, anyway, what did we think about this episode? Let's just skip to the end.
So, okay, I think the concept of it is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like,
parts
you know,
of it are like...
the old case that Sam did some fucked up shit as Soulless Sam, and he learns over the course of the episode that there's no way to truly cleanly make things right the way he wants to. Like, good concept. Actual execution, I guess this guy who was a spider spent a whole year finding out who Sam slept with and what his phone number was.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So, yeah. And also the flashbacks look corny as fuck.
The flashbacks were so long and corny and tired and played out. Like, I feel like they could have gone the more, like, for real or seeing it from Sam's perspective now kind of flashback, you know? Mm-hmm. But we don't. We just fully get in on those. Like, it's just a completely separate part of the episode. So, and it's like black and white. Yeah. I mean, it's better than if they did it the coloring of season 8 with Amelia. But like, still, I was like, what are we doing here? What is this? I mean, it's generally fine. But, I mean, there's a reason, I think, why basically nobody talks about this episode. It's like essential to Sam's plot. And we do get the iconic visual of Sam in hell from this episode, it seems like. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Some episodes are just not bell ringers. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what did you know about it though? Before
nothing. I just put down that I assume it's about Soulless Sam having been responsible for a death in an evil way and then him having to make up for it in a case. So I got that right. But yeah, none of the details of this episode are things that I've heard about.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know what you would have heard about if it wasn't. I also think I quite like a bit that it feels like very I was guessing very modern to refer to like modern day Supernatural. And by modern day, I mean like late seasons. But that's not modern day. That's 5 years ago.
Right.
Crazy.
Crazy.
That's crazy. Wait. What's going on?
You good?
Well, anyway. Yeah, I mean, I started watching Supernatural when it was airing season 10. And that was in 2015.
10 years ago.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we start the episode. Literally, the dance sequences this season. I don't know. They leave much to be desired. I just feel like. Last episode we had that disappointing AMV that's literally whatever. And now it's just whatever also. It's just death saying, we're gonna bring that damn soul back, etc. We are in a flashback sequence that we know to be a flashback sequence. Because it's black and white. Is it currently black and white?
No, it's not. It's normal. It says 1 year ago is how we know.
Okay, and like Sam and Samuel. I have been thinking about what I said to you the other day, which is that we are so quick to judge Samuel. Like, if you did get resurrected from the dead and you have a grandchild named Chris, like, you would kill him.
I don't know if I would kill Chris.
You wouldn't kill Chris with a Y?
No. No, I don't think so. I would kill my clone. I don't think I would kill some other guy.
Yeah. I mean, it like seeing how Sam acted with Samuel when they were hunting together. It does make me think like, why didn't Samuel like kill him?
No.
Kind of maybe you should have.
Yeah, no, it just seemed like Sam was being like, and now we should use people as bait, and then now we should kill them without even checking with the hospital. Yeah. But this is how we do it in the 2000s. And Samuel was like, I guess.
Yeah, so maybe me saying that you would kill Chris is just me projecting on what Samuel should have done. Yeah. Anyway, Sam and Samuel are running out of like a fucking building. And for some reason, Sam has like a giant wound on his arm. Do we figure out why he has this giant wound later? He didn't have a giant wound when he shot that guy. He didn't have. Like, he raised his arm to shoot that guy with the arm that's bloody.
Fair point.
No problem.
Then, I don't know.
So now I have no idea where this fucking arm wound came from. But anyway, they go out, they're driving away. There's a cop car comes up, and there's a cop asking what's going on, because they can't get Sheriff Dobbs on the phone. And so Samuel steps out, and then Sam steps out, and the cop is like, oh my god, you have so much blood on you. And he was like, I'm gonna arrest you guys. But then Sam just well and truly knocks him the fuck out. Truly, like, just beats the crap out of him. Yeah. And then he's unconscious. And Sam was like, maybe we should have done that. Well, as we find out later, he is not straight up dead. He is gay up alive. So good for him.
Good for him. Gay down alive?
It's gay down alive. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he punches him the amount of times it takes to kill somebody in Supernatural through punches.
No, we need to keep account of how many times you need to be hit on the head to be unconscious and then die.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not this amount, I suppose.
Yeah. This is just unconscious territory.
Yeah, and Samuel's just like, that was a little bit unchill of you, buddy. And then they just go on.
No, literally.
I mean, Okay, what have we seen of Samuel's, like
morals?
Hunting, like, his morals or his hunting style or whatever, right? Because, like, we're saying, like, oh, he should have known, like, he should have held Sam to a higher standard, etc. Like, do we know that he wasn't also a shithead?
Well, we know that, like, he partnered with Bobby in a way that really jeopardized the safety of his crew.
With Bobby?
Not Bobby. With Crowley. I'm sorry for bad mouthing Bobby.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but in terms of, like, I guess endangering, like, other people who aren't hunters, have we seen it?
No, I think with Samuel, we pretty much only exclusively see him with, like getting to the alphas and stuff. So we don't know.
Yeah, and when he's going after Yellow Eyes in one of the time travel episodes, wasn't one of Mary's friends killed in that kerfuffle? How did that happen?
I don't think she was killed. I think they went to her house to check on her.
Okay.
And then she was killed. Yeah.
And then she was killed.
She was killed by a possessed Samuel, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So he doesn't have time to react to that because he died immediately, if you remember.
Yeah. Well, wait. Did he die immediately after that? Or was that the one where Yellow Eyes decided he had his eye on Mary, but he didn't kill her
and then they
later?
kissed, and then he died.
No. I'm saying there are two different flashback episodes. Both of them involve Azazel. I feel like the Mary's friend dying was in the first one, not the second one? Or the second one, not the first? No.
I think it's
no, but
the
you're right.
second
In the first one, she already does the deal. Because that's only Dean who sees it. So yeah, no.
Oh yeah, in the second one, the parents are dead.
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, this has been Gray and Crystal try to remember what happened in Supernatural. Well, I have no insights on Samuel's hunting style from that.
No, I mean, we have said this before, but, like, there's literally no character to Samuel. His only character is that he loves Mary. Like, the only insight we get from him this episode was literally a third character going, wow, he loved her. About Mary. And it's so stupid. Like, it's crazy.
Sam and Dean are in a motel room. Sam's watching a news story about Mel Gibson's domestic violence case, and Dean says, I think it's just because he was possessed by a demon. Don't do that.
Yeah. It's kind of a wild thing to do. Like, the way Supernatural would go, yeah, this guy was possessed by a demon. Yeah, the demons did 9/11.
There's no need to be topical in this particular way, Supernatural.
Yeah.
And they got nothing from Bobby about Eve, which is the only time during this episode that they pay tribute to the big old plot thing that happened last week.
Literally.
Yeah. And then Sam gets a mysterious text message that's just a set of coordinates, and he doesn't know who it's from.
The last time they got this shit was from John.
Was something wicked. And they are trying to draw parallels, I think.
Yes,
and then they give
very
it up.
heavily. Let's get into it later.
Those are coordinates to Brystal, Rhode Island, which is where the initial opening scene happened.
Are places in
disappeared.
Are places in the US just like same name from places in the UK, like because they were a colony? Like
a lot of them, yeah, I think.
Okay. Got it. I was like, it's in Bristol? They're flying?
So true.
But there is a Bristol in Rhode
Brystal
Island.
CABPod.
What? What's the
like
joke?
Crystal CABPod, but you switch the letters. It's not funny. Who cares?
No, wait. Can you explain why this would be funny if it was? I'm sorry, was that a really offensive thing? You're good.
But it was an incredibly funny sentence.
Well, how would it be funny if it was?
Brystal sounds like crystal, so Brystal.
Oh, okay.
So, like, yeah, instead of Crystal CABPod, it's Brystal CABPod.
No, but you see, crystal only sounds like that if you say it in a specific way.
How Crystal and Bristol sound pretty similar.
No, but Bristol has an O and Crystal has an A, and it's like that's what's different.
Crystal. It's the same sound. It's an O.
Well, love is love, so we can move on from this.
And people are people. So Sam assumes that this is another hunter who he may have met while he was soulless, dropping him a case. So they should go, despite Dean's protestations. Because, Dean goes, we're just gonna drop everything? And Sam says, dude, 2 minutes ago you weren't doing anything. Ugh, king shit. Yeah, and Sam's saying that they have to go because even if this is mysterious or a trap or whatever, they shouldn't ignore 3 missing girls. And they go under the agreement that as things start getting weird, they leave. While they're driving in, there's a welcome sign, and Sam at this point starts getting his silly black and white flashbacks of the last time he was here, but he does not tell Dean about it so that they don't have to leave.
There are 2 sets of flashbacks, basically. There's the ones like this that are sprinkled across the episode, and then the longer ones that are like basically the entire thing that happened in the past. And like I do wonder, like, when Sam is having a long ass flashback, is he having the whole thing?
I think so. That's why, right? Because one of the times he got it when, like, Brenna went up, like, she was like, I'm gonna go get the file now.
Yeah, and he's looking at the couch.
Yeah, and then he has the whole flashback, and then she's gone, like, when he comes to, she's back from going upstairs to getting the files.
Yeah, but the really, really long one, when they were, like, actually hunting the monster already.
Oh, okay, probably not.
About?
Dean would have said something.
Yeah, he's just staring at the void. To be fair, it was, like, a 2-minute flashback. So, like, we have this really weird remark that Dean does. Where, like, he's looking through... They're at a cafe, but I think Dean Winchester will erupt from my screen and kill me if I said that. But
yeah,
they're like
cafes are gay.
They're
That's
at a
why
diner.
The words rhyme.
We cannot get into the difference between how you and I pronounce things in this episode.
Say cafe and say gay.
Cafe. Gay.
Okay.
Oh my god!
It does.
It does. It sounds more rhyming when I say it than when you do.
Okay, slay.
And he makes this weird remark where he's like holding the missing poster signs. And he's like, wow, look at this lady. She's got that wild side look in her eyes.
What is
Which
that?
is like so weird, especially given the fact that the reveal this episode is that Sam
Winchester's killer dick strikes again.
How many dicks has Sam killed? No, how many women has Sam's dick killed?
Okay.
We have
Jess,
yes.
Madison.
Hell yeah.
Sarah eventually.
Is eventually
right?
gonna get there, yeah.
Ruby.
Hell yeah.
Okay, Kara's fine, at least. So that's something. She escaped. And then all 3 of these women.
Damn.
anyone else.
Not looking good for Sam.
Also, Dean's like, wow, like this monster has a type, it's brunettes, but it turns out that it is simply Sam who has a type that's brunettes. Do you think it's because Jess made him so sad that he can't fuck blondes anymore?
Does Sam ever fuck a blonde again? An important question. And I think we can say so. No. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. That's why he only had sex with Ruby 2.0.
No, literally. He was like, you're a demon, that's completely fine. You're blonde, ew! Ew! That's what he said.
Dean's fucked a blonde, Jamie, in Monster Movie, so we know that he has no such qualms.
Yeah. Eventually, Dean goes out to, like, take a dump or something. And this couple walks in, and the lady knows Sam Winchester. And she is, like, very enthusiastic to see him. She's like, oh my god, you're back! And, like, you remember my husband, right? Which is, like, we realize that the reason she's saying that is to be like, don't flirt between two openly. My husband is here. I love this. I think Sam should exclusively have sex with married women. And that's important.
But what about Eileen? I guess she can get married first.
Yeah, she can get divorced. I think Sam should only have sex with divorced women. The woman is saying like, oh, you're back because the disappearances are starting again. Anyway, like, where's your partner? The big bald guy. And yeah. Oh, by the way, while this is all happening, Dean like went to like the bathroom, right? And he was looking at this like array of pictures that is like people who have finished a certain meal or something.
Yeah. And
in one of like he's looking, and then he pauses at a picture and he makes a face, and we don't see the picture. And I was
like, I can't believe Sam ate all those burgers.
I fully thought when he was gonna show the picture later,
in the pirate hat. It wasn't. So
and
sad.
I'm so sad that it wasn't that. So sad. Devastated. Yeah. Anyway, the woman is still making conversation, and she eventually goes like, well, if you need anything, and then she puts her hand on Sam's shoulder. And Dean has come in at this point and is like waving them away. But she puts her hand on Sam's shoulder, and Sam like does a turn, and he like remembers that he was fucking this woman in a bathroom. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it is incredibly funny to me. Like,
it's detailed. It's animalistic and detailed.
No, the person who left that review that was like, oh yeah, this is your wife's favorite. I will never forget that. Did you remember that? Like, someone left a review.
Yes, in heart, I remember.
Yeah. Someone left, for those who may not remember, somebody left a review in the episode of Heart that was like, oh my god, this is my wife's favorite episode. And then a couple reviews later, somebody left a review saying like, oh yeah, no wonder this is your wife's favorite episode. And then with like quotation marks somewhere. Anyway, that's every time Sam has a sex scene, that's all I think about.
So true.
And also, I do find it a little bit, like, obviously there are many things happening here that may contribute to Sam being distressed, such as that he's realizing that he was in this case before, he's realizing that there's, like, stuff that he doesn't remember, and it's, like, a very vivid sex scene that's happening in his brain. Like, many things happening, but it does also kind of come off like he's just shocked that he had sex.
And with a married woman, too.
Yeah. Anyway.
Also, Dean says that this woman is giving Sam cougar eyes. Is she that old? How old does he think she is?
She's literally, like, maybe 28.
Literally, though.
And Sam is... How old is Sam now? Isn't he literally fucking 27?
I think so.
Or 28? He's literally 28.
I don't think he's 28.
He is! He was 22.
No. Well, no, because Dean was 29 in season 4. So Dean is 31.
No, he was 26, dude.
In season 1.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry about season 4. He was 29 in season 4, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, because he dreamed about you for 29 years before he saw you. Why am I saying you? Like, you... Well, when he saw Cass.
Yeah. You know what? Cass is also a brunette. Another Sastiel win. So, they're camped out in some abandoned house trying to work out this case. I do like when they're camped out in an abandoned house because they're like, this city's too small to have a motel. They're trying to figure out what's going on, and Sam thinks that what happened is just that it's the same monster as last year, but he and Samuel, failed to stop it. And he's like, and that means it's all my fault, and I have to fix it. What if Samuel just had bad vibes?
No, literally.
Yeah. And Dean says, okay, but why the gender bend, huh? Which I'm surprised I haven't seen as a reaction image, you know?
Okay.
Like, it seems like a screenshot.
In what situation would you react with?
Just, I mean, people love the werewolf transgenderism screenshot. I just feel like it would live there.
So true, maybe. You know, it is always so shocking because people actually do use GIF sets, and sometimes those GIFs would be from Supernatural, like in the wild.
Yeah.
And it is always shocking. And this won't be on Tumblr.
You weren't on Tumblr in 2013.
No, but like in the world at large.
Okay.
like in the
on
internet
Twitter?
at large. Yeah, or like somebody will message you something and they'll send you like a GIF, which I'm like, I am not a fan of sending GIFs in conversation.
Yeah.
But when other people do it and they send a Supernatural GIF, and I'm like, wow, you know I'm a Supernatural fan, and they literally don't. I came out for no reason.
Oh, I like the one where Sam's on the phone and then he passes out and falls on the sidewalk.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the one where, like, it's in every AMV? The one that I say it's every AMV where Sam is supposed to be having fun, but the AMV maker
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Dean says, let's call Bobby and Rufus to have them deal with it.
Well, I just want to point out that at some point he says, they took 5 guys went missing last year, and I think that's so important.
Oh, like the burger?
Like the burger, yeah. Love the burger, 5 guys. I had it once in Hong Kong, and I have not forgotten about it. It's good.
I really want a burger.
Yeah, of course. Why would you not want a burger?
No, you're right. I'll get a burger.
Hell yeah.
Dean's saying that they should call Bobby and Rufus to deal with it because hunters don't come to the same town twice because they usually leave messes behind.
Yeah. And he says, Dad says you never use the same crapper twice. And Sam's like, everybody uses the same crapper twice. And Dean says, not us. You know what I mean? Which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah. And Sam says, this creature is still walking around because of me, right? I mean, I let it go. What if Samuel just had bad vibes? And then he says, Dad also said, you finish what you start. And that's the something wicked parallels again. And then
I do love that they bring up John a lot for this one. Like, I enjoyed it. I
do enjoy it as well. Like, it's where Sam got this mindset of having to make up for things.
And he also, it's where also he got the mindset to use people as bait. Like,
so true. He's like, okay, Dean, I get that you're afraid that, like, I'll get all my memories of hell back, and then
I'll fall over and die.
Up. I still have to do this because everyone who dies, that's on me! And he says, I have to stop it, and you do the same thing. Something wicked reference again. And Dean's like, okay, fine, I get it, sure. He goes over to interview Nicole's roommate. Nicole is the woman he said had crazy sex eyes or whatever earlier. Her roommate's blonde, which I guess means that she's safe. Yeah, Dean is looking through the room and he sees a business card from Agent Rourke, which was Sam's alias during the original case. And he learns that Sam came by a lot to speak to Nicole, and their conversations were loud and athletic.
Yeah, and we get a close-up shot of Dean's face. And I thought they were gonna play it for laughs. No, he's also, like, really stern. And I was like, are we just, like, upset that Sam was having sex? Like, what's going on?
Well, I think it's just him realizing that this is a trap set for Sam thing.
But he hasn't realized it yet.
I think he can start to suspect it.
Yeah, I think it's also, like, realizing the involvement that Sam has in this town.
Right.
But Sam wasn't just, like, someone who passed by and, like, whatever. Right. He was involved in it.
Meanwhile, Sam's going to the sheriff's station to do some research, and he runs into that guy he beat up who isn't dead. And he immediately arrests Sam and is accusing him of being the one who killed those 5 people before and killed the 3 people now. And he also keeps asking Sam where's Sheriff Dobbs, which is also what he asked in the flashback. So Sam's just stuck in this jail cell now. But then he gets approached by this woman, Brenna, who's also a pretty brunette like every other woman in this thing. And that's not super relevant because they didn't sleep together, but Roy does have a line later that, like, makes it seem like Sam was trying to. She is the widow of Sheriff Dobbs. Or I guess he's still alive, so she's just the wife of Sheriff Dobbs. She's asking him what happened to her husband, and also that he shouldn't lie to her because she knows that he's a hunter. And Sam starts getting a little flashback of him and Samuel actually telling Sheriff Dobbs and Brenna about what they do and asking for their help. Brenna's whole thing is that she just wants to know what happened. Please tell me what happened. And Sam says, I cannot due to the amnesia. And he convinces her that the amnesia is real and that he can help her. She just has the keys to the cell and lets him out and tells him to tie her up with the rope to stage a breakout.
There's this part where where they're talking to the husband, right? And he was like, blah 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 blah, and Sam goes, wait, why is your wife here? And then he goes, because she's my wife, and she does work for the office. And I was like confused by that. Like, no. What's that about?
Yeah,
like, she's just there.
Was it
she's
just
a civilian
meant to be exposition?
Worker. Are there civilian workers in like?
There's like receptionists like Nancy in season 3.
Yeah. Okay. So she was like a receptionist there.
Well, we don't know that. I don't know exactly what her job was.
I feel like those are irrelevant things. You know what I mean? For what he was trying to say. Again, I don't think your wife should be involved in your work.
Yeah. But yeah. And then we have a brief scene of Debbie, who's the woman who ran into Sam at the restaurant. She and her husband seem unhappy in their marriage. She goes to the basement to get more wine, and a hand comes out of nowhere and grabs her.
She was getting boxed wine, which I love. Good for her.
So Sam's back to that abandoned house where they're camping out. He hears footsteps, and he like jumps out and pulls a gun on the person who comes in, but it's only Dean. Dean comes in and is like, I told you so. Like, we're fugitives again. Great. And then they hear on the police radio another missing person, Debbie, I assume. Dean tells Sam to not go anywhere and he'll check it out. At Debbie's house, Dean has finished interviewing Dawn, her husband, and then leaves a message with Sam saying that the link between all the missing women is that they all banged the same dude. You.
Love it.
And all of this is a trap for Sam. So, did Debbie tell Dawn about it? Or no, probably not. He was just like, they seemed really close or whatever.
Wait, what do you mean did Debbie tell Dawn?
That she slept with Sam. Because how did Dean figure it out?
I mean, probably the same way that...
But the roommate knew.
Yeah, because she heard. Well, I suppose... I don't know.
Because he already suspected from the cougar eyes or whatever, so I don't really see what
that's true.
information...
Maybe Sam told Dean. Sam's like, I think I fucked that
he deliberately has not been telling Dean that he's been having the flashbacks.
Oh, that's true. But maybe he was like, I have vibes that...
Yeah, or I guess they didn't know who the missing person was, right? So he went over, he saw a picture of Dawn's wife, and he was like, oh, that's the woman that probably Sam fucked. So yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
He was like, she's blonde, and she's from here.
Brunette, but yes.
She's literally brunette and she's from here. We go to Brenna's house. This is the woman who let Sam go earlier. And Sam's like, oh, I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be here. But, like, I need to know stuff. And the woman is like, actually, what happened to Debbie Harris? Because she's just gone. Like, I let you out and now she's gone. What am I supposed to think? Do you think she also knows that Sam slept with her?
I don't know.
I think it seems like they all know.
Who's they all?
Like, everyone in this community is like, oh yeah, that's the guy who fucked through all the women in this town a year ago or something.
Wait, why do they all know?
No, why do they all know?
What makes you think that they all know?
Because, like, the implication here that, like, oh, you knew her, quote unquote knew her. What was that about?
She doesn't say that he knew her.
No, yeah, but, like, I feel like it's implied. Or maybe it's only implied because I already know that.
You know, I think it's literally just, like, after last year, we suspected that you were involved in the missing people. And now, yeah, while you were in jail, nobody went missing. And then after you were out, somebody went missing. Are you killing people again?
Yeah. Sam's puppy dog eyes do... like double time this episode. Like, he basically managed to convince this woman to let him out earlier because of it. And now he's just like, do you think I did something to her? And then, like, you know, does the very big eyes. And she's like, I don't know. And Sam just says, like, look, you know, what I need your help with is that the case files, they're not in the precinct. So, like, perhaps you took it. I need it from you. And she, like, honestly, I'm impressed by this woman. I'm impressed that she's just like, okay.
No, I mean, what is this?
She's not, like, just okay, but her reactions seem so benevolent towards Sam Winchester at every situation. Like, she believes that he had amnesia. He didn't even need to fucking get out of that cell. Here, she lets him take the case files. And, like, later, Sam is like, oh, I need the case files to go. And she's like, okay, take it out. Like,
no, yeah, what is... I don't believe that anybody would be this helpful to Sam Winchester. Especially since the last time she met him, he was a dick.
Yeah, and I do wonder, like, what are they trying to do? Because, like, there must be a reason why they chose a character so benevolent to be here. Like, is it,
they just needed the plot things.
No. But, like, because I was thinking, if she was angry, would that make us then feel more empathetic towards Sam? And they're trying to make us less empathetic towards Sam?
I don't think they're trying to make us less empathetic towards Sam. I think if she was I don't know. I think we're just it's supposed to be a sort of a big reveal, the bait thing. And I feel like you just shouldn't be thinking of Sam as somebody who did anything that bad yet. So that means everyone has to be niceys to him.
Perhaps. He was also, every flashback we have with her, he was an asshole.
Right.
I just don't think she would give him this benefit of the doubt.
I agree.
She is getting the files. Sam gets a whole entire flashback of all of them sitting on a couch, and I found this scene so odd because, like, it's something they never do.
Yeah,
they're never just
do not tell people.
Well, first, they don't tell people. And second, they don't, like, sit on a couch drinking beer talking about their life.
I mean, it might be the Samuel effect.
That's true. Anyway, they're sitting on the couch. Samuel's literally, he's chilling. He's lounging, even. And I suppose they told these people, like, Sam is my grandson? But he's young.
Yeah, I don't know. He probably just said he has a great moisturizing routine.
No, that's true.
Also, wasn't JDM only like 12 years older than like 70? Jensen Ackles or something when he was playing John?
Why did he look so old? I'm so sorry to that.
Let me check the actual ages. Yeah, no, I got them right. 12 years.
Yeah, well, happy 12 years or something. I suppose, like, for example, you had your child when you were, like, in your 20s.
Okay. Yeah.
And then your child had their child when they were in their 20s. And Sam is, like, in his 20s. Like, it makes sense, probably.
Well, okay, how old is the actor for Samuel Campbell?
At this time. Okay.
Or just how many years older is he than Jared Padalecki? Okay, he was born in 1952.
Wow,
Jared
he's old.
Padalecki was born
1984.
1982.
Okay.
So
good thing 30, I got it wrong. Imagine
30
if I got
years
it right.
older. 30 years older, you could have, I don't know, I guess people have kids when they're 15. You could do it twice, I guess.
No. I mean, he talks about being a hunter while being married.
People have been hunters at age 15.
That's maybe true. But he doesn't look only 30 years older, to be fair to him. No, he does. He looks like 60 or something.
Yeah.
Do you think they gave the backstory of, like, oh, the reason why it looks so young?
No, I don't think they gave the pulled down from heaven backstory.
They should have. Do you think it will give you more or less comfort in life to know that there is, like, a heaven and hell situation?
Less.
Yeah, no.
I don't want that shit.
Miserable. I think if I die, I want it over. Gone. Yeah. Sleep forever. That's what I want.
Also, like, yeah, okay. Like, if it was both heaven and hell, I think my main stressor would be how do I avoid going to the bad place? I don't want to be tortured for eternity, and I don't want my friends to do it either. If I knew that there was only a heaven and no hell, it would also stress me out. I want it done.
Literally. Would you kill yourself or not?
What? No.
Like, if you only knew there was heaven, only heaven.
I don't think it's that fun up there, and most of the people I like are here.
Oh, okay, so it's that kind of... It's stressing me out. I want it done. Supernatural has a fucked up heaven, number 1.
Right.
They're talking about family and how Samuel's like, love is love, or whatever. I forgot what he was saying. He was definitely not saying love is love. So the couple that they're talking to is asking, like, what's that like? Because, like, you're traveling a lot. Isn't that difficult? It's, like, kind of wild to me that people would hear that Sam and Dean or other hunters are hunters, and that's what they do, and this is the implications of their job. And the first thing they ask is like, but what about being on the road?
The first thing.
Many people...
They've been talking for a while.
That's true. Maybe they're like, whoa, tell me about your stories as if you're Hercules. And then after a while, they're like, what's this about? What's all this then? I mean, what would you ask Sam and Dean if they told you, hey, I'm a hunter?
What's a hunter? Like, of animals?
Yeah, and then they say, no, of monsters.
Like, is this a white supremacist thing? What do you mean?
That's... Yeah, that is probably. I think I'll just go, okay. Okay, well, you're not special, so.
Yeah, I think if they were like no real creatures, I would just be like, okay, conspiracy theorists, have a good day.
Yeah. I think actually I would engage them in conversation, and then I'll come home and be like, oh man, there's like people killing vampires that I saw. And she'll be like, okay.
No, but, I mean, I talked to someone like yesterday who genuinely believes that her friend's restaurant is haunted and she's gonna go over and burn sage to get it out. Yeah. So I would just assume that they were like that, I suppose.
No, yeah. And I mean, I am also that person. Like, I do also burn not sage. I don't even know what sage is. But I burn incense when I think there's a ghost. It's like an indigenous
American tradition that a lot of white people have.
They have, in the first episode of Succession that you did watch and then didn't like, there was, Roman brought in a guy to air out the building. Do you remember? No, you don't.
No.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be a fun little prank joke, whatever, for Kendall. So I think people, like white people specifically, because Roman Roy is white, surprise to everyone.
No way.
That they may be doing. Yeah, so they're like, it's traveling. What's that about? And Samuel goes, no, you know what? It is difficult. And it's supposed to strain your family. But family is so important. And when Deanna, how does he pronounce it? Deanna?
Deanna?
Well, so when Deanna got pregnant, I was like, oh no, but we made it work and she was a blessing.
R.I.P. to no abortion. No. Ruined Mary's life, ruined Deanna's life, etc.
Yeah, she's dead.
And Samuel's walking around.
The husband, Roy, was like, I'm gonna go get some more drinks, but Samuel's like, no, let me do it. So he gets out of his incredibly comfy, cozy seat and gets to get more beer. And so they ask Sam, like, how about you? Like, what's your situation? It's so wonderful that, like, what did they ask?
At least you two have each other.
Like, it's so wonderful that, like, you two have each other. And Sam's like, oh no, like, he was not when he was a kid. This is just a business relationship. And Brenna goes, okay, well, do you have any other family? And Sam just goes, family just slows you down.
He's so funny.
Like,
answer the question, dude.
Yeah. That's the end of our flashback sequence. And you know what I did find hilarious about this question is it reminds me of that thing people do when they ask you about something and you say something that they find like sad or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they like go, oh, but... and then they propose something good about your life that you may be happy about. And I thought this is a hilarious way to respond to it. So kudos to Solar Sam. I think it's so fucking funny. Sam keeps on having a flashback? This flashback is so long. But now he's at a different place. And they're talking about who they think it is. It's Arachne. Isn't Arachne like an actual
myth?
Yeah, but like I think it's like one being, right?
Yeah, no, it's not a being, set, but they say that monsters. She's an Arachne. Yeah, I think Supernatural is just taking liberties. Or, I mean, maybe the Arachne of the myth is like the alpha Arachne in the supernatural lore.
Yeah, perhaps. Anyway, they're saying something that they keep on saying with other monsters too, which is that nobody has seen her outside of this specific location, and now she's here. And also for 2,000 years. Samuel says that they don't know anything about Arachne. Just a bunch of guesses in a blurry picture on the side of a Greek face. Which I did find, like, what do you mean a blurry picture on the side of a Greek face? What are you talking about?
No. Yeah, like they made it blurry, like in the painting. I don't think they did. It could be an old vase that's no longer around and they only have a low-res photo of it.
Anyway, the waitress goes up to a guy who is sitting in front of them because he is the pirate who, like, ate all the burgers or something. And Sam turns around as they snap a shot for the wall. And that's how his face got into the Polaroid. So basically, they're like, okay, so we don't know how to kill this thing. Let's just find out. And also, Sam says, like, well, what we do know is all the victims have been men in their 30s. And they've all gone missing within a 2-mile radius. And Samuel's like, okay, so, like, we should just go out there and figure it out. And Sam's like, no, but, like, we're not the proper, the demographic for this. And so we should find someone who's a demographic for it.
He points out a park where he thinks that she's hiding.
Anyway, we go back to real life. Or present day. That was also real life. And Sam, it was fictional life. But Sam is like, oh my god. And he's like, every single end of this fucking flashbacks, he's always like a little bit teary-eyed. But anyway, at this point, Sam has been looking at the files and like he got stuck on on evidence.
Piece
it's
of
like
spider web, I think.
Yes, like spider web. So he tells Brenda like, hey, like, I need to take out these evidence. And she shockingly goes, yes. But what Brenda says is like, I have accepted that he's dead. I just want to know what happened. And Sam goes, I'm sure he died a hero. Which did make, like, later when he tells the guy, like, you're a hero, it did make me go, oh my god. Well, anyway, Sam heads out. And as he heads out, there's a fucking spider web on the side of the house. And he's like looking at it. And then he gets a voicemail from Dean. And Dean's saying like, they all fucked you. That's what's in common with the victims. Yeah. But Sam like just goes up to the spider web. And then suddenly like somebody taps him or something. And
we also get a POV
weapons
shot
out.
From an Arachne where Sam's
and
like,
it's like
in a bunch of like like an 8 eyes sort of
it's
situation.
Cool. I thought it was pretty cool. Anyway, Dean is like, okay, we need to get out of here. Let's go. And then they go back to their abandoned house they're staying at. That is super fun. And Sam says that it's an Arachne and that he remembered. And Dean starts going like, what? Remembered? What else did you remember? And Sam says, no, don't worry. It's not hell. And Dean's like, okay, well, not yet anyway. Dean says they have to go. But Sam says, no, we can't. Because, like, you know, he thinks it's fine. And also that he should be responsible. And Dean says, we're not the only hunters in the planet. Like, we can call Bobby. We can call Rufus. Love it.
Yeah.
Every time they mention Rufus, I love it. And he specifically says that, like, Bobby and Rufus can wrap it up. So true.
Yeah, no, they should hunt together. I assume the next time we see Rufus, he's dying, yes? He dies in season 6.
Yeah, or that's they give him one episode
so
and then they... That's so sad. I just realized that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we'll miss you.
And Sam says, like, it's difficult because he knows what or who did it. He just can't remember. And Dean says, like, we can't have you trying to remember because it's like fucking Russian roulette up there. And Sam says, well, if it's gonna happen, then it's gonna happen. He says, it will or it won't. And then so in 40s, he says that he's starting to think he may actually have done some terrible stuff in his town. And he has to set it right because he has a fucking soul now.
Yeah, he says specifically that his soul won't let him just walk away. Which
Love it.
I think is fun because I feel like it's like similar phrasing to in Clap Your Hands If You Believe when Dean says, like, you wouldn't have been able to fuck Julie in the dark because your soul wouldn't have let you.
Dean's like, okay, let's fucking go. And then they do.
Yeah. So, they start doing like a red yarn evidence wall. Love it.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is why they should always be in an abandoned house. Because you can fucking vandalize the shit out of it.
It's true.
I mean, I suppose you can also vandalize the shit out of a motel room.
Yeah, but it's not as nice.
Yeah.
So Sam starts having flashbacks where he calls Roy and tells him to meet them in Lonely Pines Park in an hour because they're setting him up as bait because Sam's too young and Samuel's too old.
Too old.
For what the Arachne's looking for.
Like, Samuel is protesting, but, like, not that much.
Yeah.
So,
says, like, I think we should have looped Roy in. And when Sam's like, well, he'll be a bad actor if we loop him in.
yeah.
And yeah, Samuel says one more, like, what if something goes wrong? Which, like, they don't even know how to kill this thing yet. They absolutely should not be making this plans. And Sam's just like, Roy will be fine. And then Samuel his last protestation is it's just not the way I'm used to doing things. And Sam just says, got it. Welcome to the future. Yeah, I guess he talks a lot about how Samuel doesn't understand technology. I feel like he could have used this, like, whole you don't understand the times thing on him a lot while they were partnered.
I think that is, like, a way in which we can cut Samuel some slack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this was especially early on in their hunting partnership, like, he may not have met all of his other relatives yet and stuff. So, like, Sam may be his only tether to the modern day.
They said a year ago, and Dean was back for 6 months. So, this would have been 6 months into Sam being
but
back.
You know how, like...
Yeah.
You know how, like, when people say a year ago can just be, like, a year and 11 months ago.
It's true. That's true. Yeah, I guess we can cut Samuel some slack. So now they're camped out in the park 1,000,000 miles away from where Roy's standing. Like, they're really not, like, in a bush right behind him. They're far. I have no idea how they thought this was gonna work.
Well, it wasn't supposed to.
Roy gets attacked and taken immediately, quickly. And Samuel's like, we gotta go get him. And Sam's like, no, it's too late. And also, don't worry, I have the GPS on in his phone. And Samuel's like, oh my god, like, I can't believe you did this. Like, this was your plan all along? And Sam goes, no, this is just my backup plan.
This is my plan B.
Yeah. And Samuel says, like, wow, you're really cold and I don't like it, but let's just keep doing your thing. So they go to Arachne's lair, and there's a lot of men there, all in spider webs. Samuel, like, cuts through the webbing to, like, have, like, one of the men's faces exposed, and he seems dead, but then he gasps awake. So everyone in there is still alive. And Roy starts calling out for help. And Sam, cuts some of the webbing off, but only so he can ask Roy where the arachne is. And there's a brief fight where she jumps Sam, and then he cuts her head off, and she's dead now. And Samuel's like, okay, great, let's get all these men to a hospital. And Sam just goes, I don't think he can be helped. I just don't think so. With spiders, sometimes a spider bites you and you die. So I think that in this case, with a supernatural monster that we know absolutely nothing about, that probably the poison's already too far progressed and everyone here will just die.
I know spiders too, and some spiders literally don't have any venom. So,
yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah, what is that about? But yeah, it's just such a... I feel like it stretches belief. I think if Sam was like, I read the lore and it said this, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. I think that this is a level of cold that Soulless Sam can be.
The point is that it's not that he's evil.
Yeah.
It's that he's calculated in a way that is severe. And those are different things.
Yes.
Again, if it's made clear that these people are not gonna survive for real. Mm-hmm. Him shooting them like dogs on the floor is severe. But it's not a complete evil. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they do try to play it out like that by the way Sam's insisting. But it just it's not, Sam is not it's inconvenient. You know what I mean? The way they pointed out is that Sam doesn't want to take them to the hospital because it's inconvenient or it won't do anything. But he doesn't know that for a fact. Mm-hmm. And the way that Samuel agrees, or at the very least doesn't disagree, is also what are we doing here?
So Sam's saying we have to put everyone here out of their misery.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and he tells Roy's begging Sam not to do it, but Sam says, killing this thing saved a lot of lives. We couldn't have done it without you. You're a hero. And then he shoots
the guy.
And he does it with everybody else.
No, yeah.
And then he tells Samuel that they should now burn this shack down. The end.
Yeah. It is shocking, which is what it's supposed to do. I wish they did it a little bit more better to make it clear that Sam isn't repenting because he was evil. Or you know what I mean? He's repenting because there are ways he could have interfaced with it in a completely different way.
Right.
Yeah, for example, the bait thing. I believe that Soulless Sam would do that because he did it with Dean. Mm-hmm. But with Dean, he knew for a fact that Dean is gonna have a cure. And with this one, it just betrays an active carelessness that is, I don't know, maleficent in nature. It's over the line in a way that defeats the purpose. You know what I mean? Sam's guilt, it should, I don't think it should just be, and you were evil and that's why. Or it should be showing that doing bad things isn't just about being having those bad intentions and then acting on it. You can do bad things with just completely neutral, emotionally. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. And I feel that is what Soulless Sam was leaning more towards. What you said earlier, the comparison that they make with sleeping with patchouli, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing, but it just betrays a lack of care that is hurtful to someone who expects you to care. And like, that is more the vibe of like Sam's actions. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like romanticizing
The Hunter life.
Soulless Sam. No, Soulless Sam. But yeah, I just didn't like this one.
Yeah, this feels very off. Yeah, I don't know if it's just a writing mistake where they were like, that's probably enough for the viewer to think that they're definitely going to die of the poison. Or if it's like a making him out to be more callous than we think that he should be.
I think it serves the same purpose as why the wife is so forgiving or like so trusting of Sam. Like, it doesn't necessarily align with what is the reality of the characterization or the situation, but it's to accentuate the points that they are trying to make.
Perhaps. And what are those points?
That like, no, Sam feels so bad. That's the point.
Very true. Yeah. I guess, we should probably mention by this point that Roy is black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he's the only black character in the episode.
Yeah. All of these women are pale as ghosts.
Yeah.
And Supernatural has had a history of having Sam kill black men as a way of showing that he's going off the rails. Like with Jake and Gordon in past seasons. And I don't know what the casting deal here was with Roy. I think it'd be insane if they specifically were looking for a black man to play this character. But I think that the optics are still the same. And that it comes off as quite racist, especially with the, as you, Gray, put it, the shooting them like dogs on the ground part of it.
Yeah, and like, especially because like, I mean, okay, they kill Roy again.
No, literally. Like, they do it twice. They were like, shot in the head isn't enough, let's also decapitate him. Like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, so, you know.
Yeah. No, they were like, Gordon got decapitated, Jake got shot. Let's do both of them on this guy who's literally fine and chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back to Brenna, and she's alone. And Roy comes in, but he's without his glasses. He had glasses before, right?
No idea. Probably.
Really? Okay, he had glasses in my mind. Okay.
But, well, he has no glasses, whether that's...
And he also... and that's the only thing that's different about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like...
He also has blue eyes.
Yeah, he has blue eyes.
And
this also happened to my friend Louis de Pointe-du-Lac. Very sad.
This is true. Yeah. And he has, like, a bullet hole in it. No, not a bullet. It's like a healed over wound on his forehead. And he looks like he has, like, he looks like a fire victim. Also, like, I wasn't actually sure if that was, like, the fire. Because when they show Arachne...
She has, like something going on with her skin. It's just harder to tell in the black and white.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure. But I think this one is combo, like, Arachne situation. Yeah. But also, like, because he was burned down with that.
Yeah.
With that place.
Indeed. So, he comes in. And he tells her, I love you. And then...
Also, I want to point out, they make a point of saying the people just want to bury the bodies or whatever. This episode as well, which they also said last episode. Which you have said last episode they were trying to parallel some stuff with.
I don't remember anything. What are you talking about? What even was last episode?
Last episode, there was a plane crash. And like the virgins, right? So they couldn't find the bodies, and they were saying we don't have anything to bury even.
Oh, well, that's not really. I thought they were trying, because it was her sister talking about it. I thought they were maybe doing a swan song Sam and Dean parallel.
I was actually wondering what the no body situation was on about. I suppose, like, Dean also didn't have a body to bury.
Yeah, but, Sam was buried. We saw him fall into a big hole.
So true. And also, like, we forgot to specifically mention it. Like, they used this guy as bait, which is also a Something Wicked reference. I loved that idea that, like, to show that Sam is evil, let's have him use this guy as bait. Something Dean Winchester did.
It's not explicitly stated in Something Wicked that John used them as bait. That was sort of a theory that we had. I don't even know if the writers would say that it was intended.
I think it was pretty... I mean, okay, yeah, I don't think it was explicit because we only also realized it when we were recording.
Yeah, and we haven't seen people post about it like it's
except that
real.
One poster that I got mad at because they got the ages wrong. I think I am so in deep in Supernatural. Like, I used to say that, like, no, it's like back then, I would be like, oh, like, I'm so mad at people who has wrong opinions. And then, like, after a while, I was like, oh, I chilled out. I think I'm starting to realize that I only chilled out because I have stopped being, like, on Tumblr all the time.
Yeah.
Every time I go on Tumblr and I see a post that I disagree with, I'm like, how dare you? So,
Yeah.
It's still there.
It's still there.
It's still very much there.
Back with Sam and Dean. Sam is calling Brenna to tell her about what happened, I guess.
How will he even?
I don't... Was he really planning to tell her the whole truth, or was he just gonna be like, the Arachne took him?
Got to him, yeah.
And then when we got to the lair, he was dead or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, because he tells Dean to relax when Dean's like, what are you gonna say? Sam calls, but then apparently Brenna told him to swing by just casually. But it seems that she's in some kind of trouble. What I thought was going to happen was that she and Roy were teaming up to kill Sam now because she's pissed at him. I thought that would be fun. But
I hated that she was just standing there the entire time.
Yeah, she was like, no, Roy, don't kill him. Like, whatever. Like, your, like, zombie husband just came back and said that this guy killed him. Like, I don't know. I feel like you are probably in a place where you would be on the zombie husband's side. They sneak over to her house and the light is on in the shed. So they go in and Brenna's curled up in a corner and she asks Sam, what you did to Roy, is it true? And then Roy, he whacks Dean and then does, the Sam chokehold wall thing and tells him to answer the question. So Sam and Dean are now all spiderwebbed up. Sam tells Roy, you win, let Brenna go. This has nothing to do with her. I wasn't aware that she was in any physical danger. Because all we saw earlier was that he showed up and told her that he loved her. That seemed like a normal, nice thing to do. I don't understand what she needs to be let go from.
Yeah, she's literally normal.
No, she's not harmed. I can't tell what she's actually afraid of or dislikes about the situation. She called him to come over. Why did she do that?
No, I think it's to trap Sam.
But is it? Because But Sam's acting like Roy has Brenna in his clutches.
No, but I think he's stupid for that.
But there's nothing that happens that, like, shows us that Sam's wrong. What happens is Brenna going, Roy, don't do it, when, like, he's trying to kill Sam and Dean, which sort of is on, like, Sam's side regarding what's happening here.
Yeah, but, like, she's not tied up in any situation. There's nothing to suggest that.
So, yeah, scared. But, like, so why did Sam say it?
Because he has an assumption that everyone is out to kill everyone if they're monsters.
Does he?
Yeah.
But also, Roy responds, right?
Yeah.
He says, like, it does have something to do with her, which is also, like, him confirming Sam's narrative. Like, he doesn't say, like, what, we're literally chilling.
No, I think he's confirming that it has something to do with her, but it doesn't mean that he has her captive.
I guess. But they just never really settle what's happening here.
I mean, I also just find it so... I hate it so much that the entrance to his, like, anger towards Sam is like, oh yeah, and you're gonna fuck my wife.
No, yeah. He says, you come back around, start hanging out with my wife, and you think this has nothing to do with her, but then you thought I was out of the way, right? Like, yeah, no. Like, how is this? Like, I think he should just mostly be mad that Sam killed him and used him as
set his body on fire. Like, it's just, that's the part that I was, like, stuck on. I was like,
yeah,
who give? And also,
it was
I
like,
kind of feel
actually,
like
I'm
they were
back because
into.
You want to fuck my wife? Like, they weren't into each other.
And also, there's this just general idea of cuckoldry in this episode,
right?
Yeah, and nobody even has horns to show for it.
For real.
So I don't know, like. Earlier in the episode, like, the lady that Sam had sex with in the sink.
Mm-hmm.
Like, her husband is shown to be, like, brooding a little bit.
Yeah, he's upset about it.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know, like, they had something going on with it. Like, Sam is a cocker. Is that the term? So
yeah, I think so.
You know, it's always so fascinating to me that the word cuck is, like, so old. It's so old. It's such an old fucking word. It's the same way I'm like, they've had tennis for such a long time. That's how I feel about it, too.
True.
Shout out to challengers or something.
Yeah, and then he says that the Arachne wasn't there to feed, she was here to breed. She was turning all of those men into other Arachnes. So by the time Roy was killed, he wasn't human anymore, so the bullet and the fire didn't do anything. So, yeah, he said that he was hiding out for months, almost starved, but you know, what kept him going was how he was gonna get revenge on Sam. So I guess during the hiding out, he figured out everybody Sam fucked and his phone number.
Yeah.
But it took a whole year and all of that, I guess, because he was starving and adjusting. It's like, as a plot thing, it just doesn't work very well for me.
The thing is, I'm not even sure they were conscious that they were doing a Hunter parallel. And that's what, like, sucks about this, because it's very obviously a Hunter parallel, but they don't engage with it in any way that would suggest that they give a fuck that this is the case. So, like, yeah, I don't know.
That he was hunting Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was hitting up the library of women Sam Winchester fucked.
Yeah. And now he's gonna fuck my wife.
I just don't like
this episode.
What is this? Yeah. And Roy says that he turned all of the women that Sam had sex with, and he's wondering if he should kill Sam or turn him. But this whole time, Dean has sort of been reaching for a glass shard and getting himself out of the webs.
This guy has like an 8-eye vision. He didn't see Dean try to get that fucking thing.
I guess not. I guess he was focused on Sam or something. But yeah, he attacks Roy. And then Brenna frees Sam from the webs because, like, Roy's, like, maybe gonna kill Dean or something. Yeah. So she lets Sam go. And then Sam chops off Roy's head. And he's dead.
I don't understand Brenna as a character.
Yeah, and what is her deal?
I don't think we are supposed to, because she's not treated like a person. She is a plot device. So
she is helpful, and she is there. And the whole time
there to be, like, nice to Sam but mad at him.
Yeah, but, like, barely, just, like, a little bit. Yeah.
And so, like, Sam can ask for forgiveness, but, like, she's not even, like, I think that's the whole thing that they were going for. Like, there's this person who has all the goodness in her heart, is willing to give Sam all the benefit of the doubt, and she still won't forgive him. So it's really Sam's fault. That's the issue that they're going, that's the, like, angle that they're going for. Because I think if they presented someone who's, like, shouting at Sam, like, you killed my husband, then Sam can, like, flagellate with that fucking guilt. But here, he can't, because she's not engaging with him.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're going for. I just hate that they have to do this to a character to do it.
Yeah, and a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was a man, I'd be like, okay, fine. Yeah. It's just, this whole episode, she's been like, she said over and over again, all I want to do is find out what happened. I've made peace with the fact that he's dead, etc. And they just don't give her a moment to process any of him coming back. She just goes, oh no, he's trying to kill people now. I don't like it. Sam, get him. What?
She walks back to her house. Oh, she doesn't. Maybe she rides with them. That's why Sam's there. But Sam's like tailing her. And he's saying like, look, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry, Brenna. And I'm just thinking like, what do you think is gonna happen, Sam?
Oh, it's okay.
Like, genuinely, what did he think was gonna happen? And I think what I hate about this is, like, something undeniable about Sam's character, which is that he wants to be forgiven. Mm-hmm. And that is a recurring situation for Sam. That's his, like, deal. He is guilty all the time, and he wants to be forgiven for things. This is a situation where that's just not gonna happen. Like, it's just not gonna happen. And so it becomes incredibly self-serving.
Yeah.
To even seek an apology. Or to even, like, give an apology. Mm-hmm. Because then you're placing the onus of forgiveness on the other person. Mm-hmm. And it's like, one, it's not gonna happen. Two, if you really care about what she feels, you just fucking leave her alone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's, like, it's frustrating, but it is something Sam Winchester would do.
That's Sam.
Yeah. And, yeah. Anyway, she just doesn't give a fuck, like, doesn't even turn around to acknowledge him and just goes into her house. Anyway, we go back to the abandoned house. They're packing up. And Sam says, like, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't have come back here. And Dean basically says, like, you have to understand that everything that happened last year, it's not you. And Sam says, no, it was me. And Dean's like, okay, well, I give up. Do you want anything? And so, like, Sam's like, whatever, Dean, like, shut the fuck up. I'm fine. And Dean says, you know what? Everything's gonna be okay. And Sam says, I don't know, Dean. If I did this here, who knows what else but then he collapses on the ground and he is shaking. What's it called? He's convulsing. Yeah. And Dean goes up to him. And we see that, like, Sam's eyes are open, but he seems like, out of it. Yeah. And then we go into Sam's eye. And we see that what he is seeing is that he is burning in hell.
Yup.
End of episode. Yeah. Well, what did we think about this episode? It was fine when it's fine and it's not when it's not. And more of the time, it's not fine than it was fine.
Yeah. Not so good, I think.
Yeah. Best line, worst line?
I think worst line was the whole "you're gonna come back and fuck my wife" thing.
Yeah. I hated it. I hate it. I think I also, you know what? The opposite of that is my favorite. When Debbie, the woman that Sam had sex with, goes like, what? The box stuff doesn't get better with age, Dawn. I love that line. So true.
Yeah. So true.
I love a horrible line. I love it. Like, the super sweet ones that are like, what are we doing here? I love them.
Yeah.
So that's my hot take.
Yeah. I think I liked the exchange at the end where Dean says that none of it was you and Sam says, let's be crystal. Wow, me reference. Wow. Let's be crystal clear. Okay, it was me.
Yeah.
Like, I liked seeing Sam put his foot down in that way.
Yeah. It's so fun that both our names are just words. Love it.
Love it.
I would say, what is
my worst line?
No, my worst line.
Oh, you don't agree with mine? You think I'm stupid?
Oh, yeah. I think you're stupid.
There's probably other bad ones.
There's other bad ones. Let's see.
Yeah, we should diversify.
Well, I think the whole, like, Sam has amnesia thing is, like, hilarious. But every time they do, like, oh, so you're saying you have amnesia? I just hated it. I'm the most pointless best line worst in this episode. Well, sometimes your best line and your worst line are completely irrelevant to anything.
Sometimes.
Okay. Spread those sheets. Let us do it. CABPod stats.
Unforgiven is such an unserious episode. I just feel like everything else is like a reference to something, right? And this one, they were like, we really have to drive home, like, the emotional, like, whatever. Yeah. Let's just call it Unforgiven.
Okay. Misogyny. I do think there is some misogyny in the way they portray the women of this episode. I would say...
What would you say? I feel like a 1 is like a passing remark. I feel like it's 2.
It's a 2.
Level.
Okay, go on.
Okay,
there is racism.
I'd say it's inherent. Like, maybe not in the planning of it, but in how it's presented.
Yeah, I'd say a 3. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Homophobia?
I don't remember anything of that ever occurring.
It's so iconic, the homophobia stats this season. So just for reference, we gave a 3 for episode 1, which is when they were like, wow, you're gay for having a wife. And then a couple 1s here and there, and then we gave a 4 to clap your hands if you believe the worst episode of all time. Which we also gave a 4 on ableism for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
well,
win.
It's an odd episode, so you guess first. Oh my god, I'm like actually tense about our IMDb because there's a chance that I may not win.
There is a chance. Okay. I don't think people like this because I've never heard anybody talk about it a single time. Season 6 has been the season of sevens. I think that it is a... Okay, our last 7 was All Dogs Go to Heaven.
What even was All Dogs Go to Heaven? Oh, it was the Lucky guy who became a dog.
Yeah. How does this compare to the guy who became a dog?
It's like honestly pretty similar.
I'm gonna give it a 7.7. I think it's a guy who became a dog.
It has the same emotional core, which is like an incredibly funny thing to say. But in my mind's eye,
what was the emotional core? Oh no! It literally ends with him being like, he goes to a woman's house and him being like, I'm so sorry, and her shutting the door on him. No, it's actually literally that.
Yeah. See, I was right. I would give this one a 7.
And he killed her husband too. Yeah. No, this is literally All Dogs Go to Heaven. It's a 7.7.
Yeah, this is a double feature for... I would give this a 7.8. Ooh, it's a 7.9.
Oh, fuck. Well, good job.
This is good
because... We both did quite well, though, at least.
Yeah, this is good because it does provide tension to our end of episodes. This one says, this was worse editing than Battlefield Earth, which is, I'm assuming, a movie that has bad editing. This episode is filled with flashbacks, and each flashback is done in the worst possible way. They do sideways camera angles and cheap, quick editing, as well as black-white contrast. Not only is it physically difficult to watch, but the writing is also hilariously bad. A citizen unlocks a prison cell because they somehow had the key for no reason, and then she says, there. Tie me up so it looks like a breakout. Why would an unlocked cell look...
look like a breakout. People don't break out of prison by unlocking the cell. No, you're so right. I can't believe this episode was even allowed to be aired. It's so badly done in every way.
I love this. These are the kind of reviews that we need in our life. Oh, that's wonderful. And it was left behind in 2019.
The top review mentions that they liked seeing the contrast between Soulless Sam and, like, Souled Sam, like, so close together within the episode, and I agree with that. You're still stuck on people don't break out of prison by unlocking the door. Yeah. It's really good.
I just think, why would an unlocked cell look like a breakout? It's the funniest fucking shit.
I mean, okay, I think it's like he like threatened her, or like she unlocked the door to come in, and then he tied her up. I don't really know.
Already tied up.
Yeah.
No, how did she tie her up? I don't know. Well. The episode is okay. I love the run-in with the law thing they had in the beginning seasons, but it gets old. You're gonna hate season 7.
Oh, because of the Leviathans?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This one compares it to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, like Sam being who he is.
Hey, I haven't read it, so...
Yeah, I know about the horrible, like, BBC modernized version of it. that was directed by the same person who made
Stephen Moffat.
Yeah, because it was in the video about how Sherlock is horrible.
So true. Most important video in the world.
Yeah. I do think it's an incredibly funny video. I watched it like last year, and I think I told you immediately after watching it that I watched it. Because it was important.
Yeah, I've only seen it once, but it remains a very fond part of my memory.
Okay, I think that's it for this episode of Bus Asian Beauties. Next week, we will be discussing Season 6, Episode 14. Can you take a fucking guess what this episode title is?
I'm so scared. What? Is this the Titanic one?
No.
It's not the French Mistake, is it?
Oh my god! We're nearing the French Mistake.
I can't believe that happened in this season.
When
like, be
is the
fucking
French
for
Mistake?
real.
When is the French Mistake?
Oh, don't tell me. I want it to be a surprise.
Well, next week's episode is Mannequin Tree: The Reckoning.
No.
Leave us a rating or review wherever you get your podcasts.
Follow us on social media. We are on Tumblr at bustyasianbeautiespod.tumblr.com. And, what else?
Check out our merch.
Everybody. Oh, yeah. And our tag is BABPod, BABPod.
Hell yeah.
Thanks to everyone who's donated to our Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/bustyasianbeautiespod. And check out our merch at babpod.redbubble.com.
You can email us any feedback, comments, or inquiries at bustyasianbeautiespod@gmail.com. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.